A new order from Governor Tony Evers that is putting limits now on daycares across the state. It took effect this morning. But our Sean Gallagher learned despite the new limitations, some families say they have no choice but to put their kids in childcare even during this pandemic.
The Wauwatosa Daycare and Learning Centers are in the shadow of the Regional Medical Center, so they get a lot of healthcare professionals here dropping off their kids. And for those who are on the front lines of the battle against the coronavirus, daycare is vital. Things are much different at this daycare in Tosa.
It's so uncharted. It's scary.
Danielle Raggeth says they have capacity for more than 150 children. Wednesday, they only had 34. Many of those kids have parents in healthcare.
We have a number of families that are doctors and nurses over at Children's or Aurora or wherever, so they obviously have the priority, but we have plenty of space for all of our families currently.
While the daycare may have space, there's a cap on how many kids they can accept. An order by Governor Tony Evers states centers now may not operate with more than 10 staff members present at one time and more than 50 children present at one time.
Both my wife and I are in healthcare and consider ourselves essential, so we don't have a choice.
Other parents, while not working in jobs considered essential, say they simply can't afford to stay home.
It's a tough decision, not as essential as, people working at the medical college or freighter and children. But we're in a position right now that both my husband and I have to work so that we can provide for our family.
The daycare says they won't turn away families based on their jobs.
We're trying to make it work on both ends as best as possible, but families just have to decide what's good for them.
I'd prefer to stay home, and I think that's the safest thing we can do for our families to stop transmission and flatten the curve.
To lower the possibility of transmitting coronavirus, the daycare is taking extra steps. They're keeping younger and older kids in two separate buildings, and the kids aren't allowed on the playground equipment. In Wauwatosa, Sean Gallagher, TMJ4 News.